सुधीर जी 40 साल तो लोग शादियां नहीं निकालते. How come you worked in a bank for 40 years?
I could have wished for more in a life of 40 years. We used to go to branches 8 o'clock in the night and leave 8 o'clock in the morning. We never had work from home culture. That was a boon, I would say, as compared to the generation which is working from home today. If you don't change, you won't be relevant. We have a digital presence.
Which used to be a relationship job and now it's an AI job.
So you kids now are much more smarter. A person, if he doesn't upgrade or upskill himself or herself, in couple of years' time, they will be obsolete.
Hello and welcome to India, a story in the making. Free trade agreement between India and the UK happened, and just then India and Pakistan had tensions rising and escalating, and we could hardly digest. But now that the dust has settled, I want to go and find out what this FTA is all about, but also the Indian banks that are the bridge between India and the UK. What role do they play, and how does it work out for people like us or the tradespeople? So everything about that, and who better to talk to us about it than Mr. Sudhir Sharma, who is the regional head UK operations of State Bank of India that has been here for over 100 years. Yay. And Sudhir ji himself has been with SBI for 40 years. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
So, welcome to the show. मैं कहती हूँ सुधीर जी, मैं आपको सुधीर जी बोल सकती हूँ?
Yeah, or Sudhir is also fine.
No, that's my habit to say Sudhir ji. And SBI is a great supporter of this show as well. So thank you for that. Sudhir ji, 40 साल तो लोग शादियां नहीं निकालते. How come you worked in a bank for 40 years?
So after I completed my formal education, and I can say even before I did my master's, my father told that once I completed 18 years of age, and he said, now I should look for jobs. Because there were a couple of examples in the family that people wanted to become IAS and then they could not make it. And finally they had to look for some menial jobs. So I was not prepared for that. But then those days, sometimes say in 1984, 85, when I finished my undergrad, I thought whatever father says, that is we have to take it as a guidance or as an order or whatever. So I wrote a few exams, and then I got selected in many of them. I asked my father, where should I go? He said, join State Bank of India. This is the largest bank of the country. Even that day and 40 years later,
Same.
so bank has remained number one in the country. So I'm happy to be part of State Bank of India. Joined in 1985 and then as an officer in 1988. And this March, I have completed 40 years of journey. When I joined bank, we had, this was the best bank, after joining as maybe a bureaucrat or a diplomat. So this used to be much sought after job. And though during my 40 years journey, I have seen many new private sector banks came up, and some of my friends left State Bank of India and joined those banks also. But I never felt it that way because I have been treated very well by the bank. During these 40 years of journey, I can say that I worked in Gujarat, I worked in Delhi, Maharashtra, Telangana, Northeast, and I also got opportunity to work in United States of America. So I worked at New York branch. And during last 5 years, I worked at SBI Mauritius Limited as Managing Director and CEO. And from there, I was transferred to London as Regional Head UK Operations. So I don't think that I could have wished for more in a life of 40 years. So I'm completely contented. And I'm happy that I never looked for changing the job.
My God, that's amazing. You globe-trotted with SBI, huh?
Yes.
And you're very happy with that. मतलब लोग तो 30 सेकंड के रील देखने का उनको पेशेंस नहीं होता. You had 40 years in a bank.
Yeah, but when I look back, I think the journey was very, very interesting. And bank, as I mentioned, that I worked in India, US, Mauritius, and London. So if you have worked in 4 different countries, so it doesn't give an opportunity for me as a professional. My children also, like my son has studied in 4 different countries. So, and I find that a challenge he would have faced changing schools, changing friends, teachers, environment, language.
Yes.
Those kind of challenges I did not face within the bank. So I find that he is a truly international citizen, I can say, and he'll be successful wherever he go, wherever he works.
Of course.
So the benefit has not accrued to me personally or professionally, but to the entire family, to my daughter, to my son, my wife. So all of us are indebted to State Bank of India for such a wonderful journey.
I think it's how you look at the glass, half full or half empty. Because some people said, "Dekho, hamari, we kept on changing schools and friends, and we could never settle." But you look at, so it's wonderful.
Yes.
But before I go into FTA and the whole banking thing, I want to ask you that when you started banking, actually we were doing ledgers, and still people do हाथ से passbook में लिखते थे. So I remember I still have those SBI, because I am an SBI account holder as well in India.
Very good.
That too. So we had these passbook, and so you saw from there to now where AI is so prevalent. So how is the bank adapting it, and what have you, tell me about this change?
Yeah, so I will say that the people of my generation who are working, say, for the last 3 or 4 decades in whatever discipline, whatever area, whether they are working in railways, they are working with airlines, or they are working with in private sector or in the banking sector. So everywhere the technology has come. And you rightly said that when I joined the bank, we used to have very heavy ledgers. You can't even lift them easily. And every entry, every transaction used to be manual, whether it is transactions in those ledgers or then the back office job, which we used to do in balancing our books, etc. So everything was 100% manual. From there, somewhere around 1990, the computer age started in India, and then the bank started back office computerization. We were a part of that. We used to do whole night. We used to work in branches, and morning we used to give those ledgers back to the staff members who were working. So our batch was, we used to go to branches, say 8 o'clock in the night and leave 8 o'clock in the morning. That was the part of back office computerization, and then front office computerization came sometime in 2003, 4, 5 and those. So we have been a part of that, and I'm happy that we could transform as per the need of the time. If we had not transformed, whether staff or the organization, you would have seen examples of HMT watches or ambassador car. Probably they did not change with the time as per the demand of the customers. So if you don't change, you won't be relevant.
And I think you learned computer on job?
Yes, because as a student, we never had computers. So we picked it up, and the working knowledge, we can say, I won't say that I'm a computer proficient, but the working knowledge which we got, that was on the job only.
Acha. And they trained you?
They trained, and when you work, you learn and you ask your colleagues. So we never had work from home culture. And that was a boon, I would say, as compared to the generation which is working from home today. That you have your colleagues in the office, you have your seniors in the office, and you learn, you collaborate, you learn, and you grow in the organization.
Yes, indeed. So now coming back to FTA, tell me more about this FTA, and how does an Indian origin bank based in the UK play a role? How will it play the role?
So free trade agreement, it has taken a little over 3 years, and on 6th May 2025, the agreement has been finalized between India and the UK. And this is a great news for both the countries. And as you said, we have seen geopolitical events in last couple of years, and then we have seen trade war after Trump came in his second inning. So this is a welcome step between the two countries, that finally we have ironed out all the issues which were pending for quite some time. Free trade agreement, both the countries will benefit, because we have large number of laborers, we have manufacturing units, companies. So it will give us an opportunity to export more and more goods. And the tariff has been reduced substantially. India, in case of India, it has been reduced by almost 99%. We can say completely, most of the items are 100% tariff free. And in case of UK, it is a reduction in tariff by 90%. So India has reduced by 90 for the imports which will happen from UK into India, and UK has reduced it by 99% for the exports India will make into the UK.
Can you explain this in a layman terms? So what will we get that we didn't get before quite easily?
Yeah.
Just let's name some.
Suppose you are getting leather goods or textile from India. So now when tariff will be lower, you will be getting them cheaper. Tariff is something which the governments levy at the time when the goods is entering into the country.
Yes.
So the governments have actually waived that, okay, we will not levy those taxes or those custom duty or import duty. So the goods will be cheaper in the hands of the consumer. There will be more demand. They will be more affordable for everyone.
So there will be no charm for the UK manufactured good. They will everything will be found in India, and everything in India would be found here. So
tariff was not a barrier. See, right now, suppose costly goods only rich people could afford. But now suppose any apparel which is coming into UK from India and where the tariff has come down, maybe it is affordable for a middle class family as well. So affordability will improve. People will be able to get goods at a cheaper rate. There will be more demand, more production, and
so that actually creates a lot of business opportunities.
Yes. So what has been expected that currently the trade between UK and India is in the range of say 42 billion, which will 42 billion pound. So that should go up to 75 billion pound by 2030. So they are expecting that trade is likely to double between the two countries.
Right. And when does this come into force?
While we have reached an agreement, a level of agreement or understanding, but agreement is yet to be signed between the two countries. And once it is signed, it will come into effect.
So the fine prints have to be still ironed out. Okay. What opportunity is there for the bank, and how would an SBI, let's say, an Indian bank, would be able to serve people in this situation?
Yeah. So as you mentioned that we are in this country, State Bank of India. We came here in 1921. So we have completed exactly 104 years. We celebrated our centenary in 1922 after the Corona. And when we came here in 1921, I largely understand that we came here to facilitate trade between the two countries. So trade between India and the UK has a rich, complex, and a long history. So there's a tradition. We heard that East India Company came to India for trade only. And later on, the history says the rest of the things. So we came here to facilitate trade between two countries, India and the UK. We came here if you have to raise resources from international finance market in foreign currency, bonds, etc. So that is another reason to be present here. And the third one is to channelize remittances to India, support the diaspora. So these were the three objectives, and these objectives are still relevant, meaningful as on date. So in last 100 years, what we have done that we are participating in large corporate syndicated loans. We also fulfill the need of Indian importers by way of external commercial borrowings. And we also have a trade finance department here. So it's we have a substantial book where we provide buyer's credit and supplier's credit. So now FTA, when the trade volumes will go up, we are already in place. And since we are here for 100 years into the supporting the large corporate or mid-corporate segment, we are ready to take the full advantage of the free trade agreement between the two countries. So we will be able to provide services which are required, whether an importer requires a letters of credit or bank guarantees, or they require some finance to make the export or import. So those kind of facilities we will be able to continue to provide.
But if for a business, for example, I have a business and you have the local banks already, how would you be able to compete with them? And what is it more that you could provide to me, which is in addition to?
Yeah. So what happens when the trade between these two countries, if we limit it to India and the UK, one leg is a UK customer. And State Bank of India has 1/3 of country's population banking with it. So out of we say 1.5 billion population, we have 500 million customers banking with us. And most of the business establishment either solely banking with us or maybe under a consortium arrangement with multiple banking system. So when a UK exporter or importer is dealing with the Indian exporter or importer or buyer or seller, so one customer is well known to State Bank of India, which is based in India. And here we can easily support the importer or exporter. So what we think that as compared to multinational banks who may not have significant presence in India, State Bank of India with 22,800 branches has an edge that we can support both the legs. And here as well, we have a large treasury presence also within our State Bank of India London branch. So we are able to raise resources at competitive prices, at the same price at which these large banks would be raising. And similarly, we have a retail presence as well here.
Hmm. Yeah, and I think for me, the retail presence really works very well. I know because for some reason, Indian banks are able to provide very personalized service, isn't it?
Yes.
So if I walk into your bank, and I'm not saying it because you are present here or for any other reason, but there is a little bit of warmth, there is a little bit of हाँ
Yes.
कर देते हैं ma'am, yes, that personal touch.
So see, we have 11 physical branches, retail branches, and we also have a digital presence by way of, SBI UK. So we call it now, we have a phygital presence. So which is a combination of physical as well as digital presence. So while we are trying to reach out to customers who are beyond the location of these 11 branches, we have 6 in Greater London, 4 in Midland and 1 in Manchester.
Okay.
So we are able to cover the neighborhood customers through these branches, physical branches. But beyond this also, because now there is a severe competition we face from the fintechs.
Yes.
You have banks like Revolut or Monjo or Wise, and they compete a lot with you.
Yeah.
So in that case, it is imperative for us also that we have our own digital presence. So SBI in India launched that is you only need one, and similarly in by now I think in 18 countries we have launched. So we have digital app in more than 18 countries. We have presence in 29 countries by way of around 240 offices. As you mentioned that when you visit a branch, we do not strictly follow that you have to take in personal appointment before you walk into a branch. So we have got relationship managers, we have got associates, frontline staff, which are ready to welcome even if you just want to walk in for a transaction. And if you are tech savvy, you can do the same transaction through a digital app.
So, no, that's what I'm saying, that in this world of AI, you would really miss that personal touch. I really like this whole phygital. So physical and digital as well.
It's a combination of both.
Yes, because AI is changing the world, but we do want, I definitely, I love this whole interaction thing.
Yeah, I recently attended a seminar where people were talking about artificial intelligence and its application in maybe financial center and everywhere. And they were saying that every person will have an agent and you just tell and the agent will do. So sometimes it's quite scary that how things will happen and whether we will be confined in a small room and we won't be interacting with the world. Because everything your artificial intelligence or the agent will ensure that everything is delivered to you and all your works are done sitting at home.
Yes.
But I do not think that things will go that far or that worse. Because 30 years ago, when we thought that computerization is taking place in a massive way in India, there will be a lot of job cuts and the younger generation will not get opportunity to work. But that has not happened. Actually, computerization has opened various new avenues for the younger generation. They are tech savvy. Now, before they join the bank, they have some IT certification or IT courses or diploma they do. And they are doing much better. And technology has actually provided more and more jobs.
More jobs, yes.
More jobs.
So I think that somewhere that's the question for AI as well. I'm sure it's going to expand the horizons for job. But when you recruit now, do you now have some kind of consideration for AI, and what is that, if so? And I'm talking about careers for young people in banking.
Yeah. So what happens in India, we have a world-class state-of-the-art IT infrastructure in Mumbai. So we do utilize artificial intelligence or Gen AI and all these things in analyzing the data. These days, big data is generally talked about. And without the analysis of data, you can't survive these days. Because manually it is not possible. So everything has to be done. You have to do machine learning and all these things. So with time, we are adopting all these things. And it helps us a lot in identifying which customer is reducing your transaction volume. That means either they are winding up or they are moving to another bank, or from your customer base, which customer can be given an additional product and how you can increase the size of your bank.
Yeah, you're able to analyze the customer quite quickly, which used to be a relationship job, and now it's an AI
So
job.
you get reports that, okay, this person can be considered now. You have given him a home loan, but now you can give him a car loan, maybe an education loan. Their kids are growing.
Yeah.
So you try to.
That's why I get a lot of calls from everyone, all sorts of places, insurance. If you have one place, oh, that's where the whole data war game is there. But in terms of career for young people, what does a career in banking look like now with AI coming in?
Yeah, with AI coming in, like these are various tools which we have to use, analyze the data and expand. So when I joined, we had less than 5,000 branches. Now we have close to 23,000 branches, 65,000 ATMs, and maybe the footfall would have decreased, and a lot of transaction, maybe 90 to 93% transactions are done in a digital way in India. We have seen UPI and various technologies have come where billions of transactions are done in a month. So even for a youngster who joined the bank, recently I was listening to our head office message, and we are going to recruit around 16 to 18,000 new people in 2025.
Yes, but do you look for some specific AI qualification now?
These days, the young people who join, they have to have either the IT as a subject or a certification they would have done. So it's compulsory for quite few years. And then once they join the bank, they will have to understand and grow.
They'll be trained as well. Of course.
And technology every year is changing. We see every year a new model of the phone with new features and all. So similarly, even if you take well-trained person now, a person, if he doesn't upgrade or upskill himself or herself, in couple of years' time, they will be obsolete.
Yes.
So even if you are taking someone, the person will not be future ready.
Yes.
So you have to train, and we invest a lot in the training system.
Right.
We have across the country large number of trainings. It could be more than 55 regional training centers. We have Apex training centers, and we have a leadership institute in Kolkata. So bank believes and invests a lot in training its employees.
Yes. Yes, of course, it's very, very important because technology moves at faster speed than our training. And I sometimes wonder, are our universities actually educating young generation ready for the future? Because I think future is moving faster.
Yeah.
I sometimes think.
But this generation is much smarter. Even if we look at our home, sometimes we feel that probably at this age we were not that smart or not that intelligent. So the kids now are much more smarter. They continue to do multitasking and they spend time on their studies. They also remain in touch with the technology, what is happening. If you ask your son or daughter that which laptop you should buy, they will immediately tell you that this is the best, it has the best features, and this is the OS, those kind of things, because they'll just type or Google and they get the analysis that which is the best model and which at the price, a reasonable price, etc.
Yes.
So these kids are much smarter. And the universities, everybody may not be doing the, you can say, IT kind of, say, software engineer or hardware engineer. But then everybody has an element of IT into them.
Yes, of course. There's no way not to have it now.
Correct.
So
we have seen our parents using WhatsApp. Isn't it?
It's a hard job to teach the parents how to
WhatsApp, but then they are doing.
Yes,
you will find them watching Insta Reels and all these things.
Of course.
So if a person can operate an ATM and can use an Android phone or Apple phone, everybody in the country, 150 crore people are
Yes,
are
indeed.
all, we can say,
Using it.
IT savvy.
Actually, I want to quickly ask the FTA question and go to the section called High Five India. Is there anything in FTA that we should understand and know that could benefit us, or what are the? I want to come back to that question of the business opportunities that it creates for people like us.
Yes. What will happen? There are many Indian corporates which are working in UK. So when they bring people, they bring immigrants. Earlier we were paying national insurance, which we call NI. So these kind of social benefits for which premium was required to be paid by the employer, so that has been waived. So that will be a big boost for the companies to invite more and more employees. But then we have to see the fine print and understand that whether it is for first initial 3 years or it is for the entire period of the, if a person is coming for 5 years, whether it has been waived. So I read somewhere that it first 3 years and I will not be payable. So right now what happens, suppose as an expat I have come here and I serve for 4 years, I go back. My company is paying NI for 4 years, but we don't get a refund out of it. So it remains with the system. So that is also a big boost of bringing skilled workers into the country. So there are similarly various provisions which we will have to see the detail and the fine print and before we jump into it or we take action. But overall, since it has been going on and everybody was waiting, both the sides, India and the UK, so it's a welcome step. So we can say it will open various avenues.
Absolutely.
And we have seen on the sideline that EU is doing something. India has done with Australia, even
China has done with the
China and US, they have agreed on.
Yes,
certain things.
115% tariff gone. Finally,
Yeah.
this is the way of Trump to deal with, get people on the negotiating table, I think.
Yeah, he's a businessman. So, and he has, in his maybe wisdom, whatever he has done for the benefit of the country, we do not know.
Of course.
The future will tell us that.
On that note, the future of this show is that I take you to a section called High Five India. It's 5 questions I ask you, and then the reward for you is the high five.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
So, the first question being, what are the top 3 takeaways for you from FTA that we should know about?
See, one is that reduction in tariff, which is substantial. It's almost, we can say, close to zero for Indian goods which will come into UK. So that is one. Second, it will also give an opportunity for development of financial sector. So like banking, insurance, capital market, sustainable finance. This is what UK can offer to India. So this is, you will find that in UK is considered to be in a leadership position as far as reinsurance is considered. Lloyd's insurance, you can say. So non-life especially. So these services, we can say, will be available for India. And then besides this, we can, as I said, that maybe the immigration rules for a skilled worker, they will be liberalized, or maybe they're less costly to bring in people into this country.
If we were to look at India economy, because you're deeply connected with it, what are the opportunity areas for people from here to invest?
From here to invest into India, there are every year in the budget, various new areas. Like these days, people are looking at investing into shipbuilding. That has been added as an infrastructure industry in the recent budget of February 2025. And I have come across 2 to 3 corporates who want to invest heavily. It could be to the tune of 20,000 crore rupees, 25,000 crore rupees, because India aims to become third largest economy, say by 2047. And we cannot depend on the shipping industry of other countries. So we have to develop our own shipbuilding, and then use those ships for import and export activities. So that's a big investment which is going on there. A couple of customers have reached out to me, and we are looking at how we can provide them guidance as well as financial assistance.
Oh, wonderful. Now you have continent trotted with the SBI. Tell me the saving habits. Which culture saves the most?
India.
People are more into saving.
More into saving because we are worried about future. We are worried about next generation. Not even our son and daughter. We are even worried about our grandchildren. So we want to leave some legacy for them, some assets, some properties. That's the saving habit in it.
What is it that you have learned from banking which
Couple
you have
of
imbibed in your
things.
life?
Couple of things. You promise less but deliver more. So, like you want to do any home loan, car loan, any business loan, and you think that it is likely to take 20 days. Try to, if you are promising 20 days, try to deliver it in 15 days, 18 days.
So keep your
So,
promises in.
Promises in time, be punctual, and then it gives immense satisfaction to a customer.
Okay. What is it about the Indian world that people have still to grasp?
Indian people have got immense capability to work under any circumstances. They will be successful in any country under any kind of environment. Plus, these people have the talent of doing multitasking. Another thing you can say that work-life culture, which you generally see in the Western world, Indians are yet to become a victim of that, I would say. They can still work 10 hours, 12 hours. They can work on weekends, and you can trust if you give them some work.
Okay. Perfect. On that note, high five. एक बार और. That's, we got it. Thank you so very much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me here.
And thank you for being on India Story in the Making.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.